Here's another neat way to try to explain it. It's like, say you were the only possible thing, whatever it may have started as, invisible. And you had to turn yourself into two things so that you could say, hey, let's try this. Or, I bet you can't do that. And you're like, yeah, I can, watch. And then, how would I watch? I don't know, we have to find a way to watch. What does watch mean? What is seeing? What is that? What is this? What are those things? All those things, like, so you can converse with yourself. But you don't need two people to do that, because everyone does that in their body, with a physical and a mental and emotional expression. It's like, it's all really one thing. It's all in you right now. Your mental, physical, emotional, compassion, all those emotions too. You're everything, all in one package. And so is the universe. See, like, your experience of it is its experience of you. So you don't have to be two people, daring themselves to do something or challenging themselves to do something. It's that one person, that one thing, wondering and then seeing what happens. But in order to wonder or see, it had to become something in order to explain wondering and seeing. And wanting to know, like, those words had to be expressed by something. And something had to figure out how to make up those words. So even when you start thinking little things like that, it sounds like crazy ramble, but it's not. It's deep, deep things to ponder about. I mean, that unbelievable, seriously, it's just totally magical. There's nothing less you could say about it. It's totally magical. There's nothing. That thought is so amazing to me, that anything that's possible is possible, and it is expressible. And in our physical world, we may not be able to touch it and, like, have it touch us, but we can make up a virtual visual expression and look at it. And if we look at it enough times, we can start dreaming about it. When we start dreaming about it, it shows up in the world. Like, maybe it doesn't seem like everything, like the monsters and stuff, because we try to keep those things out of our head. So the funny thing is, why do we put them in our experience in the first place? So we don't want to think about that another time. But it's in the back of your head. So when you get in a dark place and you watch movies about dark, nasty critters, it's impossible to take it away now, because it's a possibility. So now you have to learn how to control the thoughts and what goes into your individual human mind experience. So you have to start learning how to take things in and put them out, and take things in and put them out, and know which things to keep there. But the funny thing is, you don't want to leave anything there, because even the good things make you get attached or depressed if you don't have them, or all those different things. So it's learning to understand that it is all you, as that one. Entity is another word. Before there were words, it was just that one thing. It's just that one boop. It was that one magical thing that is basically like a person talking to themselves, but it's not a person, of course. It's like a person talking to themselves, challenging themselves, loving themselves, hating themselves, doubting themselves, believing in themselves, all at once. All at once. Now is really eternally now, and it's never going to be anything but that. But because people get sucked into the ideas that we've expressed, mostly TV and phones that they're looking at, they're not even physically experiencing anything, but that's their world. So they're like, what I'm saying may not seem like it makes any sense to them, but they're basically experiencing half and half. Like, they go out and they may do a job, or they may go to school, they may walk around and go places and say hey, hello to a couple people, but most of their lives these days are looking at something and experiencing life through something that isn't even around them. It's just a little thing they're looking at. That's the funny part. So it's turning into a place where people don't need the physical expression. All we need to do is look at it and experience it. So that's why robotic things are starting to happen more, which 100 years ago, that would have been something just like I'm saying now, a belief is or whatever. People wouldn't have believed that robots could have been there, and then he started making videos or movies and stuff like that back then of like really cheesy looking robots, broken down robots in old black and white movies. But then as time went on, look, they have robots now. And at that point in time, that would have been inconceivable. No one would have thought of how the hell would that have even happened. But they already knew then that it was going to. Even watching it as a false, not real thing, watching it on TV, like in the 50s and the, whatever, when you see it on TV, it was probably already happening then, because it was happening then. It's just it wasn't revealed to us in a physical sense. It was going on somewhere else. Like, it's all going on somewhere else, and you get to put yourself in that environment, in that situation, according to your mind, and according to the people you combined yourself with, the environments you combined yourself with, that are all also your mind. But the more things you keep there, and the more things that make you feel uplifted, the more uplifted your life is. The more things you keep there that make you think or make you feel down and suppressed, you're doing it to yourself by watching sad news and sad stuff, even though it's being physically expressed. Those people are just a now moment being physically expressed because it has to be somehow. Just so we can see it, just so we can understand what if. It's the big what if. On top of that, there's a billion other ways to explain it, but it's the big what if. I mean, I think that helps make out a lot more sense than trying to come at it in a spiritual way, because it is all spiritual, but that's a word too. It's all magic, and that's a word too. It's like, what can I do to say it right? What can I do to show it to people what I'm really experiencing at all times? Oh, it's amazing, but it's in human form. It's actually sort of frustrating to try to get it out right. But either way, I'll keep trying, and I love you guys so much.